But notice how when he was murdered, they didn't go and grab a constitution. They grabbed a Bible. And once you get that Bible in your hands, the Constitution makes way more sense.
Thank you.
Charlie Kirk's family suddenly found itself caught in a surprising legal dispute, and it quickly challenged the public image of a close, united family. According to reports about an emergency court filing, Charlie's parents asked the court to remove Erika Kirk as guardian of Charlie's young daughter, the child he left behind. What many people believed was simply the story of a grieving widow carrying on her husband's legacy suddenly became part of a much more complicated family conflict, raising even more questions and sparking intense public attention.
Podcast, I have a We Are the They member, a good friend of mine, the man that did my Zen garden, but also the guy that was hired to pave over Charlie Kirk's scene. So we got a very fascinating human being, Mr. Dan Merrill. Dude, good to have you on the show.
Yeah, thanks, brother.
Let's just kind of cover this Charlie Kirk stuff first.
Okay.
And then I want to kind of get into more of your story and some of the stuff like that. One of the reasons I wanted to have you on the podcast, I mean, it's just fascinating. That was probably one of the 3 or 4 most impactful moments of our lives as far as, you know, a national event goes. And you got thrust right into the middle of it.
Yeah.
So what exactly was your role? What happened? How did that all come about for you to be the person they call? I mean, I think, you know, one of the reasons I wanted to have you on, you haven't really told your story, but you've been getting a lot of like, and people that think you're part of the conspiracy. And I just wanted to kind of really get into how that all happened for you.
Sure. Well, so interestingly enough, I came and met with you about your Zen garden. That was right when it happened. I was on my way back to my shop in Provo, and I saw 6 different precincts flying past me in the commuter lane.
As Erika took on a more visible leadership role, appeared at public events, and accepted major responsibilities connected to Turning Point USA, Charlie's parents were reportedly focused on what they believed were their granddaughter's best interests. When news of the court decision became public, the family's private disagreement suddenly became a widely discussed story, and people everywhere started asking the same question. What convinced Charlie's own parents to ask the court to remove Erika as guardian?
Like to be useful, you know, where I can be help, you know. So I texted the guy, I said, look, I don't work on Sundays. My guys don't work on Sundays. You know, I'm happy to call you on Monday. What's a paver emergency? So he sends me pictures of right where Charlie was murdered. And he says, we need to put pavers in this place. So I called him, and the guy seemed like a genuine good dude. He says, you know, look, we don't have a whole lot of answers. We're told by, you know, people above us that we've got to put pavers in, you know, today and tomorrow. It needs to be in by Monday. And we've never done pavers, we've never installed them, and we want to make sure we do it right. And he says, would you come help? I said, 100%. So I went and got my trailer, I started calling my guys, and none of my guys answered. And so I started calling my other guys, you know, my brothers. And then I called another, you know, so I put together this ragtag team.
That filing quickly drew attention and sparked even more public curiosity about what was happening behind the scenes. According to court records, a December ruling temporarily granted custody to Charlie's parents while the court reviewed issues related to the child's well-being and Erika's demanding leadership responsibilities.
Courtyard where it all happened, it's now open to the public again. There's lots of people coming here for like flowers, cards, things like that. The university is already making some changes. They're replacing the grass where Charlie Kirk was speaking with pavers. And there are several petitions online asking the school to make this into a permanent memorial.
The decision was described as temporary while the legal process continued. The situation appeared to have been building for some time before the court became involved, suggesting the family tensions had been growing behind the scenes. During Charlie's memorial service, his parents sat quietly as they mourned the loss of their loved one. The emotional gathering reflected the family's grief during an incredibly difficult time. Charlie's sister, Mary Kirk, also drew attention from many viewers. Photos and videos from the service sparked widespread online discussion, with some people commenting that she appeared uncomfortable when looking toward Erika. Those brief moments quickly became the subject of heavy speculation, even though expressions captured in photos or short video clips can easily be interpreted in different ways. Even so, the images fueled intense online conversation. As Erika continued making public appearances and taking on major responsibilities within the organization, other members of the family appeared to remain focused on grieving privately.
And as far as why Erika is lying and covering for Dan Flood, we're gonna need to get to the bottom of that. These are not little lies, these are huge lies. These are big lies. She's covering up for bad people, and it doesn't make any sense. She's welcoming bad people into the foray of Turning Point USA for money. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Since his assassination, it's also awakened a sleeping giant. Charlie Kirk's mission and his Turning Point movement have seen tremendous support. Newsweek reports more than $6 million have poured in so far to honor Kirk and his family across various fundraising platforms. Plus, 4 of Charlie Kirk's books have rocketed up the bestseller list on Amazon. One of them, Stop in the Name of God, Why Honoring the Sabbath Will Transform Your Life, won't be released until December, but is already number 2 on the list. Also, the producer for the Charlie Kirk Show announced Turning Point has received over 32,000 inquiries to start new campus chapters. Turning Point currently has 900 official college chapters and around 1,200 high school chapters, with a presence on 3,500 total. Charlie's vision to have a Club America chapter in every high school in America, which is around 23,000, will come true much faster than he could have ever possibly imagined.
That contrast became a major topic across social media, with many people debating what it might mean. As the legal dispute attracted more attention, additional claims about events following Charlie's death spread rapidly online. However, many of those claims have not been independently verified and should be treated with caution until supported by reliable evidence. Dan Merrill was rarely mentioned during much of the public conversation. As discussions surrounding Charlie Kirk's death continued, most of the attention stayed on the larger questions, the well-known public figures, and the growing public debate. Dan, however, said he viewed himself as simply the contractor hired to complete a job. According to his public statements, when the project was first offered to him, nothing about it seemed unusual. Construction projects happen every day, and working under tight deadlines is a normal part of the business. Dan said he had no reason at the time to believe this particular job would eventually become the focus of nationwide attention. But months later, the situation took an unexpected turn. After he publicly discussed the project's timeline, many viewers began looking at the sequence of events from a different perspective, leading to even more questions and widespread online discussion. Instead of seeing it as just another construction project, some people began paying close attention to the sequence of events and how quickly everything seemed to unfold. Online discussions grew fast, with some arguing the location should have remained as a lasting memorial to Charlie, while others believed moving forward with changes was the more appropriate decision. The debate quickly became louder and more emotional.
Everyone is asking why I even went to the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and it was because many of the journalists in that room have attempted to dehumanize me, and I wanted to meet some of them face to face, quite frankly. Why have a conversation about me when you can have a conversation with me? So, for example, a journalist from the Daily Mail came up to me. She introduced herself, and she was very gracious. She was saying, "You look so beautiful. I'm so sorry for your loss."
As public interest continued to build, the timing of the work at the location became one of the biggest talking points. Some commentators questioned how quickly the project was completed, while others argued there were practical reasons for proceeding. Without delay, reports and social media posts also claimed Charlie's parents had concerns about decisions made in the days following his death. However, those reported concerns, the reasons behind them, and many of the claims circulating online remain disputed, have not been fully established, and should be viewed with caution until supported by reliable evidence. Supporters and critics offered sharply different interpretations of what happened next, and the public conversation became even more divided as new claims and opinions continued to emerge. During later legal proceedings, questions were raised about how certain responsibilities were being handled following Charlie's death. Some public figures, including Candace Owens, publicly criticized Erika's actions, referencing fundraising efforts and public appearances that took place afterward. Those remarks reflected the views and allegations of the people making them and should not be considered established facts. The legal process and public debate remained separate, even as both drew significant attention. At one point, Erika arrived after participating in a media interview and shared a personal story about Charlie's feelings regarding where they lived. She said he never fully felt safe in their Scottsdale home and preferred spending time at the condo because he felt a stronger sense of community there.
I never went on shows to talk about myself at all, actually. And that's why really everyone wrote my story before I could even tell the correct version. But I went and honored my husband with all of his obligations that he had set. And I wanted to honor him in that way. And, you know, everyone will scrutinize and analyze and will do all of that stuff until they're actually in the position of that person. And it's so easy to analyze someone when you really don't even know them or understand them. And I don't have to explain myself. I mean, all that matters is when I come home, my baby's running into my arms.
The timing of those comments, along with the way they were presented, prompted mixed reactions from people in attendance and quickly became another widely discussed topic online and in the media. Audio recordings described online as leaked staff meeting conversations became another major topic of public discussion. Some commentators claimed the recordings included conversations about memorial-related merchandise sales. According to those reports, Erika was said to have spoken positively as sales increased, while she later maintained that her actions were intended to honor her husband. Those competing accounts quickly fueled even more debate. The descriptions of those recordings have been publicly disputed, and the claims surrounding their contents remain contested. They should not be treated as established fact unless supported by reliable evidence.
Oh, look at all the thumbs up. Look how cute that is. Sorry, this is a little bit more informal than probably Charlie would be reacting. How sweet. I didn't know they could do that. I hate Zoom. I never like Zoom. Sorry, you guys. I just wanted to say first and foremost, my heart obviously is broken for you guys as much as it is for our family. You guys lost not only a boss, but someone that you looked up to, someone that you believed in his mission, that you also that you loved. You loved listening to his show. You loved hearing his wisdom on things. I'm sure some of you have also had very personal moments of where you sat down.
Much of the public reaction centered on the contrast people believed they saw in how different members of Charlie's family responded after his death. While Charlie's parents largely remained out of the public spotlight, Erika continued making public appearances and carrying out leadership responsibilities within the organization, drawing continued public attention. That difference in approach quickly became one of the biggest points of public debate, with supporters and critics reaching completely different conclusions from the same series of events. The more attention the story received, the more divided public opinion seemed to become. Online discussions also renewed interest in claims about Erika's past relationships and interactions. Some commentators pointed to older messages, photos, and social media posts while offering their own interpretations.
February 13, 2014, Jillian replied to one of Erika's tweets by saying, @ErikaFrancevy, gorgeous as always. A few hours later, she then tweeted, why did @ErikaFrancevy just send me this? Laughing emojis. And there is a photo which says, this Valentine's Day, I am going to touch your b-. Jillian posted this tweet on March 6, 2014. So Erika says, let me call you, hold on sweetheart, give me a wow. And then Jillian says, okay, and puts laughing emojis. Erika then says,
however, those materials have been widely debated, and by themselves, they do not establish the nature of any personal relationship or confirm the conclusions some people have drawn. Much of the conversation remained based on speculation rather than verified facts. Some commentators also referenced resurfaced casting tapes, saying they showed a more outgoing and media-focused side of Erika that they believed contrasted with the more disciplined public image she later presented. Those observations reflected personal opinions and should not be treated as established fact. Others, however, viewed those same materials in a completely different way, arguing they were open to interpretation and did not prove any broader conclusion about Erika's character or intentions. That difference in opinion kept the public debate going, with people reaching very different conclusions from the same information. According to public reports, Charlie's parents believed several issues deserved closer review as they asked the court to make decisions they felt were in their granddaughter's best interests.
sex too, but not from you, LOL. Holy laughing emoji. You always make me laugh. I don't bat for the other team just yet. On March 13, 2014, Jillian shared another screenshot of her text messages with Erika. Erika says, I forgot to tell you, hydrate tonight. No alcohol, and don't eat a lot of salty foods. You don't want to look bloated. Jillian then responds, thank you. Erika says, no alcohol. Really, Erika? Age recognition, you twat waffle. Apparently, I haven't had my coffee yet. What the hell, Erika? Laughing emoji. Well, on that bite, ... note, you Siri, come on, hashtag the struggle. What are you trying to say, laughing emoji? Spit it out, you twat waffle. On the morning of March 26, 2014, Jillian tweeted, I just want to be somebody's woman crush Wednesday. Is that too much to ask? That evening, she then tweets, thank you @ErikaFrancevy for making my whole week, and she shares this photo, and the photo is of a gnome, and it says, I want to be inside your lady garden.
Court filings and public statements reflected disagreements over judgment, priorities, and plans for the child's future. Those filings outlined each side's positions, but did not resolve every disputed claim. As the legal dispute drew more public attention, the differing accounts from those involved became a major focus of discussion. The conversation also expanded to Erika's past charitable work, including questions raised by some commentators about the structure and oversight of a project in Romania. Those questions have been publicly debated and should not be treated as established fact without supporting evidence. Those claims have been publicly debated and remain disputed, so they should not be treated as established fact.
Really handsome.
You look gorgeous. Are you fixing my... I got a little bacon. Babe, that's deep in there. Give them a cleavage. People want cleavage. Showcase it.
Sells, babe.
Sells. That's me.
That's against our religion.
So it's not. It's within the confines of marriage.
I was here for 5 years. I never dated here because I saw vicariously through my roommate how terrible it was. Somehow getting drinks was the replacement of having coffee and breakfast. I personally would rather have coffee or brunch with someone than going, I don't drink. I find it unproductive, not because I'm holier than whatever. I just don't operate that way. But I always thought it was very strange how she would go to drinks with one guy and then go to dinner with another. So it goes twofold here. So if you're expecting to marry someone that I was blessed with, like a Charlie, you have to be the type of woman that will attract a Charlie. Are you going to church? Are you going to Bible study?
As the legal proceedings continued, Charlie's parents sought responsibility for their granddaughter, while Erika remained in a leadership role at Turning Point USA and continued making public appearances. That combination kept public attention focused on the ongoing disagreement surrounding Charlie's legacy and family responsibilities. The emergency court order reflected a temporary decision based on the information available at that stage of the case. According to public reports, questions were raised about the child's care and whether Erika's demanding professional responsibilities could affect her ability to manage those responsibilities. At the same time, the legal process involved competing claims from both sides, and the court had not reached any final conclusions. The temporary order was only one step in a broader legal process. Because of that, the court's ruling did not settle every issue or resolve the overall dispute, leaving key questions for later proceedings. News of the decision quickly spread across social media, where reactions were sharply divided. Some people defended Erika, arguing she was balancing extraordinary responsibilities during an incredibly difficult period, while others believed the court's temporary decision deserved careful consideration as the case moved forward. Others believed the temporary ruling highlighted family tensions that had already become part of the public conversation. As more details emerged, the disagreement drew even greater attention and sparked strong reactions from people following the case. Many social media users shared emotional opinions about how Charlie's death may have affected his daughter, while others either criticized or defended Erika's actions. Those reactions reflected personal viewpoints rather than verified facts, leaving many observers asking why Charlie's parents believed court involvement was necessary in the first place. The debate continued to grow as people interpreted the situation in very different ways. The emergency court order reflected a temporary decision based on the information available at that stage of the case. According to public reports, questions were raised about the child's care and how Erika's demanding professional responsibilities fit into the overall situation. Those questions were part of the ongoing legal process and did not represent final findings or conclusions by the court. At the same time, the legal process involved competing claims from the parties involved, not final findings or established conclusions. The court's temporary ruling did not resolve every issue, leaving several important questions to be addressed as the case moved forward. The dispute remained ongoing, with key matters still waiting to be considered through the legal process. The decision quickly sparked intense reactions across social media. Some people defended Erika, saying she was carrying enormous responsibilities during an incredibly difficult period. Others believed the ruling reflected family tensions that had been developing behind the scenes. Online discussions also included emotional opinions about how Charlie's death may have affected his daughter, with supporters and critics offering very different perspectives. Those reactions reflected personal viewpoints rather than verified facts. Many questions surrounding the family's legal dispute remain unresolved, and the full picture may become clearer as more information becomes available through the legal process. Until then, much of the public conversation continues to rely on court filings, public statements, media reporting, and differing interpretations of the events. If you found this video informative, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with anyone who wants to stay updated on this story. Drop a comment below and let us know your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.